Hello everyone, it's Amy and welcome back for another craft with me, crafting along with Sonya. And Sonya has finished her book and I will put a link in the video below to her final show and tell of her book. It turned out just lovely. And so this is just a do whatever you want series and play with the things that you have. So I have this box of fabric samples, and there's just all of these little ones, and then these are little leather bits that are on here. And so I pulled those out because I wanted to play with those today. I also did get to my lace, so we'll be able to do some lace pockets maybe tomorrow. So what I find, I think that these are really cute, and underneath there's no writing. So there's a writing space right here, and on the back it has all of this writing, so I'm just going to cover that up with some tea-dyed paper and cover the front up with some tea-dyed paper and then just cut it like a little tag. And so I just pulled out, I thought about maybe doing some of the same green that we have here in the eco dried paper, but I thought that would just be a little bit too much green. So let's see if this piece, okay, so this piece is big enough to cover, and you can do it with whatever it is that you have. There's my stick glue. I would prefer to do it with stick glue. I did open a new bottle of Fabri-Tac because the other one was driving me crazy, and I was told that acetate fingernail polish. Uh-oh, I can't get the top off it. There we go. That will thin it out, but I don't know if I actually have that type of fingernail polish remover or not. Not fingernail polish, when I said earlier, fingernail polish remover. And so I'll have to look and see if I have some so I can thin that out, or just use it on projects where I'm not videotaping, so it's not taking forever to get it done. I think I'm going to do it like, I want this little brown edge. Put the natural edge at the bottom here. And what I should have done was done one whole piece of, we're going to do that, taking that off. I'm going to do one whole piece of paper. We'll do the back and the front with just one piece of paper. That way, it'll just wrap around that top and you won't see the white from the edge because it's pretty thick, being that it's wrapped around a piece of fabric and it's got glue in there and everything. So I'll just take this. Let's see, not like that. Like this. So that I can wrap around. And I'm going to put it over just a little bit. In case I get it crooked, it'll still cover the edge. Hopefully. Do like that, wrap it over. I'm going to cut it just a little bit large. I prefer to cut things large and then trim them down later versus that. Look. I guess I didn't cut it large enough. All right, well, let's see. If we do that, and we'll just put, no, I'm taking it off. It is what it is, because I can always use these for something else. Sometimes you make a mistake and you don't notice it in time, but if you notice it in time, where you can peel it off, you can just fix it. And then you don't have to look at it later thinking, why did I do that? But if it wasn't, this is a little bit of a, it's not really a tight pocket, but it's kind of a thin pocket or something. I don't know how I would say that. I really want this edge though. And so I could have put a piece of lace across the bottom, but I think it would have caught inside that pocket. Move it over a little bit. And so, you know, I didn't want to put the lace on there and then have it not fit where I wanted it to, because I really liked the color of this fabric to go along with that page. Now, I like to cut it just a little bit too big. Actually cut it a little too big. And that way I can trim it off when I'm done. Gonna put a little press right there where the hole is so I know where I'm gonna be punching it. And get the stick glue on here. But so I have been having a lot of fun with this series and using different bits in my art room for some of my crafting videos. I mean, I use them for other things, but it's kind of fun to be able to just do a quick video and just play with the things that you have. So if anybody else has these types of things, they'll be able to do it. And if you don't have these types of things, look at what you do have to make these types of things. You know, I mean, this is just going to be a fabric flip, and you know, you could just put a piece of fabric on a little tag like this. You don't have to have these to do it. And I just have a recycle store that I used to go to, and that's where I get these different things. And this is the type of stuff that I love to use, because I like to use things that are not necessarily just from the craft store. To me, this makes this more individual to me, and this way these things get recycled and used instead of thrown into the landfill. Punch a little hole in here. I didn't think to bring any fibers. Can't see that hole once I get that on there. Where's my pencil? Well, pick it up and drop it, then pick it up and drop it. Okay, this is where my hole is, so I can see it. There we go. And then also, the one thing that Sonya did that I really loved was she used some of these. And now we're going to put it on here just like normal, but she also used them just as decoration, and it looked really cool. Use a little bit of this vintage photo on some of them. And remember, when you're trying to distress something to, you know, just to make it look older, if you're just doing it to get an exact color, then you can do it real smooth. But if you're kind of trying to make it look old, then don't make it all smooth and even. You know, make your tone a little bit darker and lighter in different places. I'm just going to take that and stick it right on there. Now, I had thought about doing it blue, and then I thought, no, that's too much. But with the coffee dyed paper on there, and the same here, colors, it doesn't show up. So I think what I will do, and I didn't have to take that off, I could have covered it, but I think that I will pull out my blue ink when we're done here. And do I have some right? I do have a little bit right here. I have this Delusions I got at a garage sale. Let's see about doing some with some blue. Ooh, I like that. And again, just for a little bit of look, I don't want them to be totally, you know, all the same color. Just a little darker and a little lighter in spots. But that looks good. I think that's going to look much better than the brown. And that looks good too. Remember, your drop papers you can use at a later date. Cut them up and make them into tags or ATCs, or just put them in a piece of your artwork. Make them into pockets. There we go. I like that much better. And I'm going to put one on the back side too. So these are just fun to play with. And I got these at a... don't remember where I got them. I don't think I got them at a store. I think I actually got them at a garage sale too, because I've been looking at the stores. They don't carry them so much anymore. So when you go to your secondhand stores or garage sales or whatever, look in their office supply section and see if you can find them, because they are getting harder to find, I think. So there we go. Now we have our, and this is a little too white for me. So what am I going to do? I'm just going to put a little bit of color on there. so that it's not so stark white. And just kind of give it some texture as far as like marks and lines go. And there we go. That's much better than when it was just so perfectly white. So there we go. There is a beautiful tag. It needs that. But now are we going to leave it like that? I think I want to cut it like a tag. So I'm going to cut that off. Okay, that just got cut off from right there. So I'm going to flip it over. That, if you flip it over and put on the other side, that makes your sides look pretty much even. And give it a cut right there. And there we go. Now we have a cute little tag. I'll put some little threads on that. And that's going to tuck into our book right there. When I put some little threads on that, they're going to stick up out of the top of our book, so that will be cool. So another thing I was looking at is I didn't put anything in this pocket, and I had this little piece of leftover paper from when I made that, and so all I did was just fold it into 3, so we have a writing space. So, you know, a lot of people ask, what do you do with these books? Well, you use them to keep notes. You know, like if you go on a trip or something, you can take one with you, and I'm going to put a little tab on the top of this. And so it gives you just little places to write, because I'm not the type of person that writes a book when I write something. I just jot down, we went here today, or we went there today, or whatever. You know, I don't write this whole huge story about what was going on that day. So I like little places to write. This little piece of paper right here might last me 3 or 4 days, you know. So so that's why I like the little writing spots. You can also put little booklets in so that you have bigger writing spots. Because this is a tab, I am going to glue it with a solid glue. And so, you know, so that you just use them to jot notes down. Now this one is small enough that you could just keep it in your purse and then just pull it out and make little notes here and there. So when you get home from your trip, not only do you have notes to look at, but it's pretty. And it in itself is fun to look at. So, you know, you also can put pictures in here. If you have one of those little, they have little cameras that take little pictures. I got one last year when we went to our daughter's. And so you can take little pictures, and those little pictures would fit on a page. And so, you know, that's what I use them for. And also I use some of them in my art room. I use them when I find a quote that I like. I tend to just scribble them down on a piece of paper, and then it's like, what am I going to do with them? So I just go ahead and take that little piece of paper and I fold it up, and then I just throw it into a pocket, any pocket. And then I can just go back through there when I'm looking for some quotes that I like, and I know that I have quotes that I like in that book. And they'll just be different slips of paper just tucked into every little spot that you possibly can. Some of them just thrown in there, you know, and close the book. So that's what you use them for. You know, you can use them as a diary. Then you want a bigger one with more writing space. But if you just want something to just keep notes, that is what these are perfect for. And keep little pictures, or if you see something that you want to make, you can jot it down on a piece of paper and slide it in there so that you have it for later. But that is going to be it for today, because we're out of time. I really do appreciate you stopping by. I am having so much fun with this book, and I think that it's turning out really nicely. I love the stitch still. Get some threads on there, and I will be back, and we're going to put in some fabric pockets so that we'll have some place to tuck some tags. So thanks again for stopping by. I really do appreciate it, and I hope that you all have an outstanding day. Bye-bye.